This episode of Knucklehead Garage, we're going through a major transformation with wheels and tires. We're going from this to this. Stay tuned and see how we do it. These are actually not the wheels and tires that came on the truck when I picked it up. I put these on to get past inspection. But I wanted to show you guys what did come on the truck when I picked it up not too long ago. They've got dry rot. They do hold air. Actually, all of these tires hold air, which is somewhat surprising. It was very obvious that these tires would actually never pass inspection. So luckily, I did have a set of 4 tires that actually I had on steel rims that came on the Scout when I originally picked it up. The tires themselves, I think the previous owner had put on and literally had like 10 miles on them. I did tow the Scout home, and so I probably put 1,000, 1,500 miles on one of the pair of tires. But I kept those tires on rims thinking that eventually I might use them on something. And I'm glad I did, because I was able to put them on here, at least temporarily, pass inspection, and they served their purpose. But now I'm ready to move on and get much better wheels and tires that fit this truck. I really like these original knobby tires on the original rims. I really kind of like the idea of hubcaps, but I started to look into getting kind of repro of these tires, and it was really cost prohibitive. These things are super expensive. Until I found an ad on Facebook Marketplace where someone was actually selling 4 knobby wheels from a 1970 K 2500 Chevy with 7,000 miles. Original tires. And of course I was skeptical, because that means they were made in 1970. Were they dry rotted? What condition were they in? So I immediately messaged the guy, ended up talking to him on the phone. He was a mechanic who actually took in this cream puff truck, where the guy literally, he said, kept it in a conditioned garage up on soft blocks, like never put a ton of pressure on the tires when it was just sitting there. And he was looking for quieter tires. He convinced me over the phone. He sounded like he knew what he was doing. He knew they weren't junk. And so I took that 1-hour trip down into Rhode Island actually to go take a look at them. Got actually a pretty good deal on them and brought them up here. And now I'm ready to put them on. There are only 4. My plan is actually to have the 5th wheel, the spare wheel, be one of these original knobby tires that came on the truck. And here they are, the 4 tires from that K2500. Definitely has enough tread. They look awesome. There's really no dry rot, and they really do look like they're in good condition. So I'm psyched to get these on the wheels and get them on the truck and see what it looks like. The plan is actually to dismount the tires from the rims, and I'm actually going to try to do that here in my shop. I don't have a tire changing machine, but I do have a lift with a relatively heavy truck on it. So I'm going to see if I can use that to break the beads and get the tires off. But once I have the tires off, that'll give me full access to the rims themselves, which I want to clean up a little bit, get any kind of flaky paint off, any flaky rust off. But I'm not going to get these down to bare metal and paint them or anything. I want to keep that kind of originality. There is the one rear rim that I'm going to have to do a little bit of welding on, because it does have a crack in there, and I want to make sure that doesn't propagate anymore and it's safe. I may use that rim for the spare tire just to be extra safe, but I want to get that one squared away. Once I've got that done, I probably will bring the new tires and the rims to a shop to get them mounted and balanced. And then the icing on the cake will actually to get some hubcaps on here. Now this truck did come with one hubcap in the bed of the truck, which till now has been kind of a wall hanger for me because it doesn't even fit on the rims. But I did actually find a set of 5, kind of mismatched together, 5 rims that actually do fit on this truck and are period correct. But they need a little bit of touch-up work. I'm not going to go heavy on trying to shine them. What I am going to try to do is actually try to pinstripe, if you will, or get all of these grooves red, including the lettering there. So I'm psyched. I think that will set off the wheels and tires pretty nice. So, first step, let's try to get these tires off of these rims, see how it goes. Well, we got one down and we got 4 more to go. And that was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. We got all 5 tires dismounted, which was a pain in the butt. And what we're going to do now is we're going to actually try to clean up the wheels. We got the pressure washer out and I got my pressure washers here. And we're going to spend a little bit of time on the 2 knobbies. One of these is going to be on the spare wheel. Not sure which one. We're going to see how they clean up. And you guys ready to blast some water on these things?
Yeah!
Yeah? All right, let's do it. Well, it started to rain. I think we're actually at a pretty good spot. So I've gotten everything mostly clean. Next up, I got to find the wheel that has the crack, get that on the welding table, weld that up before we can go any further. The wheels are all dried up. There is a crack that's formed because this was kind of moving back and forth along the axle for quite a while, I think. So I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to remove a little bit of material, and then I'm going to get my TIG welder out because I think that's going to be good. I'm going to try to fusion weld it as much as I can without adding as much material filler. But I'm going to do that on the front side and the back side. It's along here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just clean it up as much as I can, get all the rust off, and then see how much weld I can put on there without, again, adding a lot of weight because I don't want to throw this thing completely out of balance. I also forgot to mention I am going to be putting these hubcaps on, which I've already mentioned to you guys. But I was looking at what this hubcap covers, and it actually covers the crack, which is along here. So once the hubcap is on there, it does actually cover it completely. So I'll try to keep the weld contained, and maybe with the hubcaps you won't even know it was ever there. So let's do it. We made it to the tire shop. Wally got special permission to get in there. We've got the tires here, and we're gonna work on getting them mounted. We are gonna use inner tubes because the concern was that the seat of the bead might not be great, but I'll take you along and show you what's going on. The first step was to clean up the wheel. And what he's doing here is he's knocking off any high spots on the rim itself and actually cleaning up the rim. And that's really specifically because we're using inner tube. The inner tube was chosen because there was a concern that the wheels and the tires, being as old as they are, may not get a good contact of the bead. Also that there might be a chance that air could leak where the rim actually connects to the wheel itself or to the disc itself. But he's paying attention. He's really trying to knock off any high spots so that that tube can't actually rub when it's installed. And then changing focus to the bead areas and taking off any surface rust or any rust. Then actually applying a sealant / anti-corrosion agent where the bead's going to be, even though we're not relying on that seal. After that agent is applied, the next step is to actually lubricate the tire so that when the tire gets installed, it can kind of drop on and fit in a little bit easier. Next step is where I really wouldn't be able to do it in my shop that easily, which is this using the wheel machine to actually get the tire itself on the wheel on one side. Once the wheel was installed halfway, it's time to get the inner tube in there. And the important thing is to get the valve stem in the right place. It's got to fit through the hole of the wheel itself. And then kind of moving the inner tube around to prevent the chance of the inner tube wrinkling or twisting when it's actually being blown up. The other half of the tire is then installed on the wheel. Neither bead is actually seated yet. That's going to happen here where the air gets applied. Once that was done, it was time to bring it over to the balancing machine. Pretty standard. Get the tire mounted, spin it, and look for any imbalances, which all of these wheels and tires had some imbalances. So here he's putting some wheel weights on to actually bring that back or close to balance. Once the balancing is done, the wheel and tire are ready to go on the truck.
Just back from the tire shop, and I'm gonna unload these things. Overall, I'm very happy with the place that I went with. Very quick, very inexpensive, and they gave me some good advice on the inner tubes, which I wouldn't have thought of or considered. So hopefully that saves me some time in the long run and I don't get flats. I'm also really appreciative that they let me film in their shop. It's cool for me to kind of sit there and watch, but also hopefully kind of cool for you guys to see what was going on. There are a few quick things I'm gonna do to these wheels before I get them on the truck. First thing, there's just a little bit of that white lubricant residue on the tires and the wheels, which I'm gonna clean off like super quick. And that's to allow me to try to camouflage these wheel weights. These are actually lead wheel weights, which I was kind of surprised about. They've been probably using lead since the 50s. I didn't know they actually still used them, but I just want to hide these a little bit and camouflage them. So once I clean them off, I'm going to use some brown spray paint, black spray paint, and just really try to make them go away a little bit. And then the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use Vice Grip Garage patina juice from Poppy's Patina, which I still have some from when I did the Scout. And I like the way it turned out on the Scout. I also used them on the wheels of the Scout, which are kind of similar to these. And it did a really good job of kind of blending the rust and making it all kind of consistent and shining it a little bit. So I'm gonna try the same thing on these wheels. Hopefully it turns out nice. And then these will be ready for getting back on the truck. So I'm gonna finish unloading and...
Did you make it out,
No, I'm waiting for you, but I'll be in there in a second. So I'm gonna finish unloading these guys and get to work.
Alright, we're at my buddy John's shop here, and he's teaching me how to do some of this, I guess it's pinstriping, that he does on his own projects. We're getting the hubcaps nice and red. These things are going to look pretty sweet on the truck. Here's what I'm starting with. I got 5 hubcaps. I bought 4 as a set. I think it was these that have no red on them, and then these that are actually kind of like a faded red, almost an orange. And this one had red on it, and that's what I'm going for. And this is the one that John just finished the outside of, which looks awesome. So we got a bunch more to do. Got to figure out how to do the inside lettering and the diamonds there. And then I think I'm gonna take a crack at it and probably suck, but we'll try it. all 4 of them done. Here's the original one, which is a little bit different chrome, but these came out sick. I'm super psyched to get them on the truck. And it took us, what, like hour and a half, 2 hours?
Probably 2 hours, yeah.
2 hours.
Tag team.
Yep. Sweet. All right, guys, we are started. Oh, got it, Mabel. We are started on the actual tire change. We've got the new wheels and tires. We've got the hubcaps. What else do we need? We got the tools. And yes, we are doing it in the parking lot where we're actually filming. So let's do it. First shot, Mabel. So we finished swapping the wheels and tires, and I am beyond psyched. I think this thing came out awesome. We definitely gained a couple inches. Hopefully I can actually fit under the lift at home. But I think this is perfect. Exactly what the truck needed. The hubcaps set everything off. And we'll see how it rides. It's probably gonna be a little louder, maybe a little bit bumpier, but man, it looks so good. Coming up on the next episode, we actually got some new material. We got a new project and a new series. We're actually going to convert Rusty Bobby into a rat rod, and we're going to call him Rat Rob. And the first project is we're going to put a new or an old truck bed on him. We're going to chop the top. We're going to put a new drivetrain in. We're going to do a bunch of cool stuff to that. So stay tuned for that. And as always, if you guys like this stuff, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, and we will see you on the next one. See ya. For those of you curious, still fits.